What I'd like to do now is talk with you about the big picture issues when you're thinking through your commercialization pathway, that process that gets your innovation out of your head or out of the lab and to the marketplace where people can actually benefit from your innovation. One of the challenges for innovators is that you know a whole lot about research and you may or may not know a whole lot about business and commercialization. You are deeply trained in the fabulous science and development, and that has a particular look to it. You get recognized for patents or discoveries. You get recognized for peer-reviewed articles or various types of presentations. If you are doing research that involves grants, you might have a principal investigator or co-investigator status, or you might be able to develop other types of grants as well. That's very different from identifying what's a fabulous product, where you're thinking about customers, you're thinking about profit, both how much money can you make, as well as how long can the business or product last. And you also may be thinking about the nature of your founding team and whether it's a good fit to your product or service and where the money is going to come from to get started. So stepping back, I don't want to imply that commercialization is the only route to impact. It's okay to just start with a discovery and let that be enough and move on to do additional basic research. Or you may move it further into invention that involves a patent, but you don't personally move it to the market and to innovation. So think about the benefits of discovery. Some things just aren't commercializable because there isn't a way to build a business model out of it. Examples like that are medical checklists or best practices like wash your hands before eating or doing something that involves a chance of infection, or reuse of old products that extends their life, but you're not really discovering or moving something new into the marketplace. Invention adds to the knowledge base of our society, and subsequent inventors may in fact build on your invention, or again, you may choose to patent it for others to do the innovation. And innovation here means moving your idea out into the marketplace where people can benefit from it. Even then, you've got to think a little bit about what are the criteria, what are the good things for moving something out into the marketplace, as opposed to something that might be a cool idea but is not commercializable. So there are a number of different characteristics, and I typically talk with audiences and students about 5 of them, and this comes from Harvard Business Essentials. One is significant customer value. Can you really make a difference for your stakeholders and for your audience? And this is the whole point of all that customer discovery we've been talking about. A second issue is around profit potential. Will you make enough money to support the enterprise? Who will pay? Will they pay enough? And also, how big is that market? A third consideration is referred to as profit durability, which is kind of an odd phrase, but that's referring to the idea of having a patent or some sort of protectable IP or intellectual property that makes it worth your while to move forward with the business before other people copy it. Also understanding what your competitive landscape is about, and also understanding, finally, what are the nature of the trends, both among your market and in your industry, that may enhance the potential for your business or may mean that it has a short lifespan. These are all concerns when you're thinking about licensing a product or service or an invention, as opposed to building the business yourself. There are 2 other considerations if you, in fact, are planning to do a startup. One is financing. How long will it take to get to market? What is the cost to get to the market? And then, based on however you think you're going to monetize the product, what will be the return on investment to your investors and potentially to yourself if you're personally investing? And then finally, when you are thinking about building a business, the business is based on the founding team and understanding the fit of the initial set of people involved and whether you have to bring other people into the picture. A lot of academic researchers say, I just want to stay in academia. I need to bring in people who understand business. On the other hand, there are people who say, no, I want to do both, or I actually want to move over into the commercial world, into the industry world. There are other factors for the founding team as well. Do they have the skills? Do they have the expertise in a marketplace? Do they have the contacts? And then finally, we can't forget the importance of chemistry and values, that these are people that have to mesh together and work together in order to succeed. So in the total picture, if you're doing a startup, you have to think about all 5 of these characteristics. Not just, do I have a great product, but also, can I make money? Will the business last? Can I find financing? And do I have the right people in place?